Hey y'all, welcome to the filling station. So in this video, I am super excited. We're making something really simple, which is kind of like a giant lollipop, but we're going to fill it with some little Bath and Body Works treats. But y'all, it's made out of the most simple thing, the simplest thing ever, which is, that vinyl wrap, something that comes in the mail. We just use those extra things and add some little Dollar Tree items to it. But I'm super excited. All right, y'all, so for this video, we will need let's say, you're going to need a base for the stem or the stick portion of your, let's say this portion. You're going to need something. So again, I used excess when vinyl has been delivered to me and I ordered those rolls. It's really sturdy and I like that. So we're going to use the bigger one for this one. And we also have the smaller one. So if you don't have the bigger one, you could also use the smaller one. If you want it longer, you could very well put them together. Make sure they are the exact same size. These are not the same size, but I do have two of the brown and two of the white that I can put together if I want to make a smaller one. And keep in mind, you want them to be together. You want them to be either hot glued or super glue, duct tape, whatever you have. Let me say, I always say, use what you have. If you're going to put two pieces together, make sure it's sturdy enough to where it's going to hold and not bend, especially when you put the wrapping paper or whatever paper you put over it. So you will need that. You will also need some type of glue, and you can use Gorilla Glue E6000 or the handy, you always say the handy dandy hot glue. Let me say that. That's going to work. That's when we're actually going to glue the bowls to the top of this. So that's why we would use the glue. You will also need some type of ribbon to put around it once you get it all together. And as you can see, I just threw some together. Not quite sure what I'm going to put together. You will also need some tape. And keep in mind, you want some sturdy tape, some really good tape. And again, you're going to need something to wrap. I bought these at the Dollar Tree. And again, I like them. These can also be used as shrink wrap. It could also be used as a shrink wrap. So keep that in mind if you're wanting to do something creative. And I love being creative, y'all. Let's say that. You will also need some of this little crinkle stuff. They call it decorative shred. It's little crinkly stuff, and you can do that in whatever color you choose. Let me say that, whatever color you choose. So I'm going to move that over just a little bit. And y'all, let me go ahead and give my disclaimer right now. Y'all may hear my cocoa in the background. Let me say that, right? So, okay, you will also need two clear bowls. And if you don't have the clear bowls, it is okay. You can use whatever color bowl you have. Why? Because we're wrapping them with a colored paper. Now, if you're using a clear, you want to the clear wrap, you want to make sure that you're using what you like. Let me rephrase that. Just use what you like, right? Or what you have. Use what you have. So again, two clear bowls, and these are some of the things that we're going to put in the bowls. I just went ahead and put them all together just so that I can show you. So we're going to start here, right? So let's say this is our bowl. We're just going to go ahead and decorate our bowl really quick. I put some of the little crinkly things in here just to be, just to be decorative. This little teddy bear, all of this stuff right here came from the Dollar Tree. Let me throw that, well, some of it came from the Dollar Tree. This little sponge thing here, I thought it was rather cute, and it's going to add some decorative color to it. So I thought I'd add that to it also. And then we have some little, y'all, if you were fortunate enough to catch these on sale while they had them at the, what was it? Bath and Body Works. I'm so used to saying Dollar General or Dollar Tree. But these came from Bath and Body Works. So I'm going to add that in there. So I'm going to create this, something inexpensive. Can I fill this up with more? Absolutely. You can throw some candy in there. Normally I have some out, but I don't as of now. So you can throw some candy in. You can throw anything that you want that will fit inside your bowl. Let's say that. Whatever size bowl you have, that is very important. Making sure the things that you have is going to fit inside your bowl. Okay, so now let's see if we can go ahead and put our bowl together, which is going to be super easy. We already know that that's what we're using. So we're going to put this together like so. And it's easy to match if you have little grooves in it. It's easier to match those grooves up. So as you can see, this is what it's going to look like thus far. But keep in mind, you do want to take those little plastic things, those little things right there off. But for demo purposes, it's going to be okay. Let me say that, right? I didn't think about that. And normally I try to get it off and clean it off, but I got issues, y'all. Something is seriously wrong with me. But you definitely want to take this off. So I'm going to use some of my thick tape, and this is my packaging tape right here. And I'm going to tape my bowls together so that they don't move. And as you can see, I'm just getting enough to where I can line my two grooves here together. Why? Because I don't want it to be sideways or anything like that. So the great thing about these bowls is they come to where you can see where they are supposed to be, right? Okay, I got issues. All right, so because that's a little, I'm gonna have to cut that off and make it even. I didn't want to use that little bunched up gathered tape right there. So I'm gonna make sure that this is straight together like so. And I'm going to do the exact same thing on this side over here. So that is basically keeping our stuff on the inside to keep it from moving, right? So I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side once I figure out what I did with the, okay, this is my one side, so I'm going to be on opposite side of that, which is here and here. So I just taped it together so that it can kind of stay together. It seemed like I did something a little bit different, so y'all know I got to go back and fix it. Otherwise, it's going to drive me to another level of different. Okay. And sometimes your bowls, especially, yeah, sometimes your bowls are just different. Let me say that. So I'm going to take this off and make sure that I get it lined up just right. Otherwise, Okay, so now that I have it lined up the way that I want it, I'm going to go back and reseal it with the tape because for some reason it moved and it didn't sit the way I wanted it to sit. So there we are on one side. And let's see if we can get that on the other side, which is here. So we are good with our bowls. Keep in mind, you want to seal it to where your stuff is not going to fall out of the bowl. So, and we're going to seal it with the wrap, but you want enough tape on it to where it's not going to fall out the bowl. I need to make that very, very clear, okay? So now we are going to, should I add some more tape? I think we are good. I'm going to set this over to the side and probably come back to that because the overthinker in me is probably going to say, no, I want to add some more, right? So now let's have fun with putting this little thing right here together. Basically, all you are doing is wrapping it. All you need is enough, and I'm going to open this pink one because it just matches what's on the inside, y'all. I'm super, super excited. So this, again, is that cello wrap. And again, this can be used as a shrink wrap or just a regular wrap. For this case, or for this project, we are using it as a regular wrap, right? So I'm just, and I don't like to waste, so I'm going to try to get as much, what I need off. And I'm going to get enough for the edges over here because, again, I'm going to tuck those under. And that's going to kind of help me with putting my piece here together. Yes, okay, so I'm gonna cut this to where I have enough, and it's kind of hard to do it. Let's see if I can do it this way, here and here. So if I wrap it this way, I still will have enough to do it here. Okay, so I'm gonna cut here, and these are not my sharp scissors. Keep in mind, these are not my sharp scissors. But one of the things that I've learned is, this is not the side that I'm going to have that's visible. They have already helped me out with giving me a straight edge here. So I'm going to use that to my advantage. I say, y'all use what you have and, figure out a way to make it easier for you. Crafting is about having fun, right? Having fun. And this portion I'm going to use at the top, so it's not going to make too much of a difference anyway. I love it. Okay, so let's see. We're going to put this over to the side. Be careful because that rolls, right? We're going to move that over because we're done with that for right now. Okay, so our goal is to wrap this with this and attach our bowl on top of it, right? So the reason why I am wrapping and then attach, because we're going to have to wrap it anyway. So I'm going to wrap it, put some glue on top of it, put my bowl on top of it, and then I'm going to put the pink wrap on the outside like you see here. So it's going to work that way. Okay. So, and it's just like, listen, it's about what works best for you. If you find another way of doing it, I say do it what works best for you, right? Okay, so now we are taking this. Again, I'm using the side that I ripped, that I did not cut straight, right? I'm using that to wrap over. I'm going to let that be hidden and not visible. And for this one, I'm just using some regular, some regular tape. And I really don't have to have that really, really thick tape on this one, but I just need some tape, right? It's keeping it in position for me. Again, I'm using my straight edge on the side that people will very well see, or they very well may see. So I'm going to take that and just, there we go. Look how that just worked all the way out. Even though I can't cut straight, I use this to my advantage, right? So we're going to take just a little bit of tape here. Y'all, I don't know if maybe it's me, but I have the worst time with getting tape and having it bunched up. I don't know why, but I just do. Okay, so I'm going to make sure this is tight. As tight as I can, because if not, it's going to crease, or it's probably best to roll it. Yeah. We are doing it. I can't wait to see the finished product. And please, 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 if you make this, I would love to see your videos, or I mean your pictures. Let me say that. I would love, love, love to see your pictures, or if you do videos, I would love to see that. So please let me see your finished work. Okay, so this portion here, I think what I did the last time is I tucked a lot of this in like so. And I used it to my advantage. As you can see, I just pushed it in here. And I'm going to, make sure that silver portion is not showing as much. But if it is, it's okay, because some suckers you see the wrap like that. So again, it's about making it fun and being creative in the process, y'all. Having fun with it. So there we are. I used that to my advantage, the excess. That's why I did not trim that off. I pushed it in and used it to my advantage. I'm going to do this side the exact same way, right? We have excess. I'm going to push it in and use it to my advantage. Y'all see, I didn't even take, look, vinyl wrap, vinyl. Those things, I save a lot of stuff that come in. I just save so that, I'm like, I can use that again for something. And this is a great example of, I can use it again for something. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and seal this with some tape. And I'm probably going to use this for the bottom, because I don't know if I lift this tape up if it's going to miss. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to leave it alone for demo purposes, because I'm going to end up tearing, ripping my paper. So as you can see, I'm using it to my advantage. So here we are. We have this wrap. That is going to be, I'm going to go back and put a piece of tape here and make sure that which side is going to be my bottom. So I'm going to make sure the good side is going to be my bottom, and the side that I'm going to cover up, which will be this side, I'm going to use as my top. Y'all, I'm telling you, figuring out the way that works best for you. And sometimes when we make mistakes, take that and just use it. Try to, use it to your advantage. I say that often. When you make your mistake, use it to your advantage. Let it work for you. Allow it to work for you. Let's say that, right? Okay. So I'm going to just cover my edges up just a little bit, because I don't want it to move or crease. Yeah. So I'm putting a little bit at the top here, folding it over just a little bit. So this is basically our bottom piece, which is this piece here. So the bottom portion of it, right? So we just wrap that. Very, very simple. So now... I am loving it. Now I'm going to see how I'm going to get this on camera. What I need to do now is, again, this is going to be the side, again, where I have a little bit more silver. This is going to be the side that I need to attach to this. Meaning, I need to stand this up, and I'm going to see if I can slide the camera back really, really quick so I can show you what I mean. Just one moment. There we are. Okay, so now we have rolled our tube. Notice I said tube because that's exactly what it is, right? So we rolled our tube, and now what I need to do, and as you can see, it stands on its own, which is a great thing, right? So what I need to do now is attach this to this. And the reason why I went ahead and put everything, and I don't even, if you don't have, let me go ahead and say, if you don't have glue, can you tape it down? You very well can, but just keep in mind, it's depending on what you put in it. That's very, very important, right? So I'm going to put some E6000 glue on this portion. And wait a minute, let me see where we're gonna put this, which is about here, which is our center, right? We're gonna try to get it as centered as much as we can. Oh, that is just too cute, y'all. Look. It looks like a little diamond type thing. I love it, right? Okay, so now we're going to glue that on. And again, if you don't have, Lord Jesus. Okay, if you don't have regular, let me get some gloves. And the reason why I put, or better yet, it's probably just easier to take the rings off, right? So I'm going to take those off for a minute because I am notorious with this glue. Me and this glue, we just have just issues. Let me say that. Okay, so I'm going to take this glue and I'm going to put it on the bottom here. Keep in mind, we're just putting enough to kind of help it stay in position. Again, if you don't have the glue, you could very well use double-sided tape. That will be helpful. I didn't think about that because I got some really, really thick double-sided tape. I probably should have used that. Okay, so I'm going to put this on top here. And I chose to use the glue because it was next to me. Let me say that, right? So I'm going to add a little bit of pressure to this, making sure we are centered. That is the important thing. That's very important. And don't push down too hard. Keep in mind, this is still, it's really thick, but you want to be careful with the pushing down portion of it. You want it centered as much as you possibly can. And we need it in position, basically, just like, yeah. And the glue worked, y'all. I mean, really worked. So, okay, now let's get us back to, I need to put this back like now. Me and glue, we just do not get, we're not the best of friends right now. And it's okay, right? Okay, so I was getting gloves because, yeah, me and glue, I already know my issues with that. But yeah, you don't have to have gloves. Let me say that. You don't, it's a really quick fix of putting the glue on and making sure that it's in position. So right now, it seems like we're in position, but I'm going to let it dry just a little bit more. At this time, you know, you want to make sure that everything is sealed, you know, all of your, y'all, we can be so creative with this. Just really, really quick, I just came up with something else that we could possibly do to this. I tell you, I seriously have issues. Let me say that, like, for real. Okay, so we could very well, say for instance, I don't have my white tape down here with me. Say for instance, you have, if this is the pink that you're using or a solid color that you're using, very creative. After we add our top to it, we could very well go back and add, say for instance, you had some, this, I don't know if you can see this here, this ribbon has love on it. So if you have a patterned ribbon or like this wired ribbon, if you have something that you could possibly add to this, you can add like a stripe to it. That was something that just came to me all of a sudden, right? Just y'all being creative and just having fun with it. But this is an idea, just an idea, let's say that, but you can glue that into position, let's say that, like so. you can wrap it around like that. So, you know, just another idea. Not saying that we're doing it, just the overthinker in me. It's just like having one of those light bulb moments. Y'all ever had one of those light bulb moments? Yes, I'm super, super excited. Okay, so now this is basically it, y'all. I mean, honestly, we don't do a whole lot more to this. That's why I said it's a very simple project, very inexpensive project, depending on what you're putting on the inside. So this is how we are looking as of right now. So what we did was just design our base. We had already glued our contents together. We put them on top, making sure that it was centered. That's very important. So now is the finishing work, which is adding the top to it. You need to make sure if you're using glue, I need to say that, right? So if you are using glue, make sure that your glue is dry. If you are, make sure that it is dry. And I don't use E6000 glue a lot, but I don't think it takes that long to dry. I do like Gorilla Glue. I like that, but I like my hot glue. Use what you have. Let's say that, right? So again, I want to thank y'all so much for just spending time with me. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much. If you could, please like, share, subscribe, y'all. I am so grateful. I love to craft. It's therapy for me. Making things like this is just, it takes my mind off of reality sometimes. And yeah, so as I was turning this around, I need a piece of tape right here. And that's one of the things I like to do is, you know, go back and examine those places and see if places, you know, I need to fill in. And that's definitely one of them, putting some tape right there. So yeah, I am so excited about this one. Okay, so now I think the glue should be well, you know, should be okay, right? So we're going to, I have to get this. So we're going to add our top piece. And honestly, y'all, there's no right or wrong way to do this. I'm going to tell you how I did. Just take your little piece and we're just going to cover the top up. And I'm going to save these little pieces here because you can be so creative with these and you'd be surprised at what you can use them for. Let's say that, right? Yeah, I just tore that one. But yeah, you can, and again, they come from the Dollar Tree, so you're not getting a whole lot per roll. But we're going to take this and we need to see how much it's going to take to cover. And I hope I'm not, let me see if I can get this. Yeah, how much will it take to cover from the top to the bottom? That's what we're, yeah, this. So I need enough. You want, listen, in this stage, you want more than enough than just enough. Let me say that. And y'all know I don't like to waste, but in this case, we have to cover it up completely. And the excess is gonna give us the wrapper portion of it, right? So yeah, I'm gonna say that this is probably gonna be enough for us here. But again, I think we're good. So I'm gonna cut this, and y'all know I can't cut straight. Let me say that, right? Okay, so we're gonna get it. And again, I'm using more than what I need. Why? Because I would rather have more than enough for this stage than just enough. Because I want to cover, I want it to be a surprise. And one of the things that I forgot to mention, y'all, I'm just, look, thinking as I go, right? One of the things that I just thought about on the inside, what you could do, I made these little things for, I'm going to see if I can get it really, really quick because it will be a great, yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, let me see if I can get that really, really quick. Okay, so I made these little cards for us for, we do a movie night, and you could always put a little note on the inside of those or cut out coupons or something like this. All of that stuff is cut it out with the crinkly paper. Just an idea just came to me all of a sudden, y'all. You can get that in Canva. Let me say that. So yeah, so just being creative. If you want to put a personal note or something on the inside of that and designing it using Canva, that's a great thing. Great thing. Okay, final step. I know y'all like it. She's just, yeah. Final step is just adding the top portion of it, y'all. I do not do, I don't think I did a lot of cutting to this. So what I did was just put this on top like so, making sure that we are covered. And this is also going to help us with our, you know, just making sure that top portion is done. Now, you will definitely want to make sure that this is the way you want it. Make sure that everything is folded down, creased the way that you want it, right? Because this is our final step. This is our final step. Okay. So, because I don't have a rubber, if you have a rubber band that you want to put around it, if it's going to help you that way, considering we only have 2 hands, I'm going to use just a little bit of tape to kind of help me keep this in place just a little bit, right? And I'm going to put the tape kind of at this top portion. Why? Because I'm going to use a ribbon to cover that up, like so. So I'm going to do this side the exact same way. I'm going to grab my pieces like this and make sure that it is grouped right where I want it. And it looks like that bowl moved a little, did it? Okay. 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 I think we're still good, right? We're still in position. Thank you, Jesus. Okay. I'm going to put a piece of tape at that place. There we are. So we can adjust this and fix this a little bit later. We can actually cut it and make it right. But we needed something to help us with keeping it together. So this is basically our completed work, not completed work. Let's say that, right? So, okay. Now you're going to need a ribbon or something, as you can see here. And this ribbon, just a regular ribbon, right? Let's see. So I'm going to use this wired ribbon because I've been having it just sitting around. I was supposed to use it for Christmas and I did not, right? And it's a little bit thicker and I want to cover up some of that tape area. So I'm going to put this around here. And I know it's probably the craziest thing ever. I normally don't cut my ribbon until after. I don't know what I just did. Okay. I don't know what I did, but we're going to fix it, right? It's kind of hard to, I guess I'm trying to do it and make sure the camera's right, but we're going to get it right. There we are. So if you don't use the smaller ribbon or the thicker ribbon, again, I'm just using this wired ribbon because that's what I have. And I say it often, y'all, use what you have. This is the wrapper portion of it. We can always go back and, you know, pull it out, do some different things to it, whatever it is that works best for you. Fix it to, you know, however you like it, right? So because I'm going to take this and see. It's really kind of hard doing it with the camera, let me say that, because normally I would lay it down, but it's okay. Again, I like the wired ribbons because it kind of helps me out because I don't know how to make bows, like regular bows, so. And I will play around with this forever, let me say that. I'm going to figure out a way to get this little, and see with this portion, this part of it, I will have to play around with it and play around with it. But you see the gist of this is our lollipop sucker type container type thing. And it is in position. Will it come off? It should not come off. I'm going to see if I can cut this. Okay, so there we are. We hadn't fell off or done anything any different, right? So This, again, is a little gift that I'm just looking to see what I need to change different about it. That ribbon will drive me to another level of different. But I'll take some pictures and get some still shots once I get this portion of it right. But that's basically it, y'all. I mean, it's just trying to be creative and having fun with it. Let me say that. And we could very well cut some, you know, tear this portion of it off if you choose. If that, because I think this is going to bother me. Let me say that. I got issues, I'm telling you. Okay, but at the end of the day, I just showed you, you know, we just created a very inexpensive look on how to decorate something for Valentine's Day. So this is one that we just made, really inexpensive, using some clear bowls and some, y'all see, we used some vinyl rolls to make this, and I love it. I just got to figure out a creative way to get these right here, to work on this portion right here and just cutting it and making sure that it's right, y'all, because otherwise it will drive me crazy. And let's see, yeah, I'll play with it again a little bit more. But again, we just figured out a way how to go ahead and make these two things right here, how to make a gift set for Valentine's Day, y'all. I am super, that looked like a little diamond type thing. I love it. I am super excited, y'all. So again, I am Dee Dee here at the filling station. I am super excited that you have joined me today on putting together this very simple, inexpensive project. Let me say that, depending on the content that you put in it. And again, this is the bowl that I chose to use at the time, and you very well may go back and take that off and add something else. I don't know yet. The creator in me, my mind just keeps going and like, y'all ever been at that place where you can make something and then be like, I can go back and add something else. But all right, y'all. So one of the things that I forgot to mention in the video is if you do not have vinyl, the excess vinyl, other things that you can use to produce this look. Let's say that, right? You want something that's going to give you that sturdiness, especially if you're putting something heavy in the top portion of it. So you want something that's going to be able to stand or withstand, right? So one of the other things that I went to the local Home Depot, I think, they also have, these are PVC pipes. They have those. They're not really expensive. I can't remember how much they are, but they will stand. You want to make sure that it is cut straight, right? But they will stand. So if you want to get these cut down or trimmed down, that's something that's really, again, it's not expensive at all. But PVC piping is another thing that you can use. I wanted to share that. And again, if you want to use something that's going to give you a good base, a strong base, especially if you're going to put something heavy on top of it. I wanted to mention that because I did forget it. I do apologize. Yeah, I am Dee Dee here at the filling station. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you have had so much fun, or as much as I have. Let me say that, right? So again, if you could please like, share, subscribe, y'all. I say it so often. We learn and we grow together. So until next time, be blessed as well as a blessing unto others.